Our story begins in the early 20th century, a time when Egyptology had gripped the world. Explorers and archaeologists flocked to Egypt, driven by dreams of unearthing the secrets of a civilization that had thrived thousands of years before. Among them was a determined British archaeologist named Howard Carter. Carter was not new to the Valley of the Kings, but he was convinced there was one tomb yet to be found. A tomb that could redefine history. For years, Carter scoured the valley, painstakingly digging and searching, but without success. His quest was funded by Lord Carnarvon, a wealthy aristocrat with a passion for adventure and history. But by 1922, Carnarvon was growing impatient. The years of fruitless searching had drained his resources, and he was on the verge of abandoning the expedition. Carter, however, pleaded for one last season of digging. Carnarvon relented, and it was a decision that would change everything. On November 4, 1922, Carter's team discovered a step carved into the bedrock. Further excavation revealed a flight of steps leading to a sealed door adorned with ancient hieroglyphs. Carter knew he had found something extraordinary. He immediately sent word to Lord Carnarvon, who traveled to Egypt to witness the historic moment. When the two men finally broke through the sealed door on November 26, they were greeted by a sight that would leave them breathless. In the flickering light of their candles, they saw treasures piled high, golden statues, intricate jewelry, alabaster jars, and more. But it was what lay beyond another sealed door that truly captured their imaginations. The burial chamber of Tutankhamun, untouched for over 3,000 years. This discovery was a triumph for Carter and his team, but as the world celebrated, a shadow began to fall over the events. Not long after the tomb was opened, strange and ominous occurrences began to unfold, giving rise to whispers of a curse. The first sign came in the form of an unexpected death. Lord Carnarvon, the man who had made the excavation possible, was bitten by a mosquito not long after entering the tomb. The bite became infected, leading to blood poisoning. Carnarvon's health deteriorated rapidly, and on April 5, 1923, he died in Cairo. The moment of his death was marked by a mysterious event. All the lights in the city reportedly went out, plunging Cairo into darkness. At the same time, back in England, Carnarvon's dog let out a howl and dropped dead. These events sent shockwaves through the world. Newspapers seized on the story, branding it the curse of the Pharaoh. The idea that Tutankhamun's tomb was protected by a supernatural force captured the public's imagination, and soon, more stories began to surface. One by one, others connected to the excavation seemed to fall victim to the so-called curse. Carnarvon's half-brother died suddenly. George J. Gould, a wealthy visitor who had toured the tomb, succumbed to a fever shortly afterward. Radiologist Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, who had x-rayed Tutankhamun's mummy, passed away mysteriously. And there were others, a total of around a dozen deaths over the years, all tied in one way or another to the tomb. Even Howard Carter, the man who had discovered the tomb, was not immune to tragedy. Although he lived for another 16 years, his later years were marked by misfortune and professional setbacks. His closest friends and colleagues suffered as well, and the legend of the curse grew stronger with every passing year. But what could explain these deaths? Was it really a curse, or was something else at play? One theory suggests that the tomb itself may have harbored deadly pathogens. Sealed for over 3 millennia, the air inside the tomb could have contained toxic mold or bacteria. Scientists have identified fungi like Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus flavus in ancient tombs, which can cause severe respiratory illnesses when inhaled. These pathogens, combined with the unsanitary conditions of the time, could have contributed to the mysterious deaths. However, this theory doesn't fully account for the curse. For instance, Howard Carter himself spent years working in the tomb and lived to the age of 64, showing no signs of illness related to the excavation. Similarly, Many other workers and visitors to the tomb experienced no ill effects at all. Another explanation lies in the realm of psychology and suggestion. The idea of a curse may have created a kind of mass hysteria. Once people believed they were cursed, any misfortune or illness could be attributed to the tomb. This psychological phenomenon, known as the nocebo effect, shows how powerful belief can be in shaping reality. Then there's the possibility of coincidence. Statistically, it's not unusual for some people involved in a large project to experience health issues or accidents, especially over a period of years. But when these events are clustered around a discovery as significant as Tutankhamun's tomb, they take on an air of mystery. And yet, there's something about the story of Tutankhamun that resists rational explanation. The boy king himself remains an enigma. Tutankhamun ascended to the throne at a young age and ruled during a period of great turmoil. His reign was marked by attempts to restore traditional Egyptian practices after the radical changes introduced by his predecessor, Akhenaten. Tutankhamun's sudden death at around 19 years old has been the subject of endless speculation. Was he murdered? Did he die in an accident or from an illness? The circumstances of his burial are equally puzzling. His tomb is relatively small and appears to have been prepared in haste, suggesting his death was unexpected. Some believe this lack of preparation could have angered his spirit, creating a restless energy that lingers to this day. The treasures found in his tomb, now displayed in museums worldwide, are testaments to the sophistication and artistry of ancient Egypt, but they may also hold clues to the curse. Some researchers believe the artifacts themselves carry an energy or power tied to the rituals performed when they were created. Could it be that disturbing these objects unleashed forces beyond our understanding? It's also worth considering the role of human greed and ambition. At the time of the discovery, Egypt was struggling to retain control of its cultural heritage. Foreign archaeologists often took artifacts out of the country, and the idea of a curse may have been a way to protect Egypt's treasures. Howard Carter himself may have encouraged the rumors to deter looters. And let's not forget the role of the media. The story of a cursed tomb was irresistible to journalists and captivated audiences worldwide. Headlines about mysterious deaths and ancient curses sold newspapers and fueled public fascination. Over time, the line between fact and fiction blurred, creating a legend that endures to this day. So, what do we make of the Curse of Tutankhamun? Was it a series of coincidences magnified by human imagination? A psychological phenomenon? Or could there be a deeper, more mysterious force at work? The truth may never be fully known, but one thing is certain: the story of Tutankhamun and its curse continues to captivate, reminding us of the enduring power of ancient Egypt and the mysteries it still holds. As we ponder the boy king's legacy and the strange events surrounding his tomb, one question lingers: was it all just a story? Or could there really be forces in the universe that defy explanation? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.